Hey guys, it's me here with your weekly update. I hope everyone has had a great start to their summer vacation. I know some families are just now getting out of school. My kids have been out of school for, depending on which kid, about 2 or 3 weeks now. So it's been wonderful just being home with the kids, not having quite the rushed mornings, not having to deal with COVID in a school setting has been absolutely wonderful for us as a family. So I hope you guys are having that too. And if something's happening and I could be praying for you guys, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to be praying for you guys. The biggest thing is if you guys did not see the email that I sent out earlier this week to our families, let me know. But starting this Sunday, June 13th, mask and social distancing is all optional within KidVenture. You guys, I don't know. We needed some time to figure out what's real and what's not. But after tracking stats, seeing what the schools are planning, just honestly seeing how things have been playing out in Arvada alone, I just really felt confident that we really didn't need to be doing any. I don't feel like we needed to have masks anymore or social distancing or anything like that. So, and when Jeffco Schools announced that as well, I was like, boom, done, we're done. So I'm really happy with that. Now, that's not to say, listen, if there's some of you guys that I didn't get a chance to talk to in person and you're like, hey, I don't feel comfortable not wearing a mask, please, that's why it's mask optional. You can still wear masks. And if you see a kid entering KidVenture with the mask on, please confirm with the parents that that's their choice. Maybe they didn't see the email, but like if they want their kids to wear masks, we have to honor that with our families, okay, you guys? So please try to remember, don't take their kids' mask off and hang it to the side. Double check with the parent, and if the kid's like no, if the parent's like no, I want my kid to still wear a mask, then we need to make sure they keep that on, okay? So and that's actually I added it into our check-in process for the Sunday. So it will actually even print on the bottom of a kid's name tag, kind of like where our allergy information and stuff like that is. It will also print on there, so it should say mask. Um, or something like something like that. It should be pretty obvious. It's like, yes, I want my kid to still wear a mask. So just make sure you're double checking that as well, and so that the parents who need for their kid to still wear a mask or would desire for that to happen, that's still happening. So we're honoring our parents' wishes in this regard, okay? But in terms of like social distancing, play the games. I mean, honestly, I think having the chairs and the little rocking chairs for the preschoolers, at least during like large group time and during the story time, I think has actually been really wonderful because I think it helps the kids focus a little bit more because they're not like hanging on the kid like right exactly next to them. But as soon as you're done with that, move it out of the way. Play the games. Move things into circles for small groups, let kids sit at tables to do arts and crafts together. Um, yeah, I'm like, I was so like, the amount of relief that lifted off my shoulders when I sent out that email to our families was just like, I don't even think I can quantify it, and just how excited I was to be able to say, you guys, we're pretty much back to normal. So even toys that we might have put aside because we're like, oh man, because of sanitizing and stuff like that, like let's get them all out. Let's make sure things are cleaned. Yeah, I mean, we still have to obviously keep things clean in the room. We don't want it to get dirty and kids are putting things in their mouths. We still don't let another kid play with it until we've had a chance to sanitize it. Like that's just normal cleanliness. Um, but yeah, and by the way, and symptoms. So again, if kids are coughing, sneezing, runny noses, complaining of not feeling well, if you guys have any of those symptoms, like, like don't show up on a Sunday, like, take some time to rest, let your body heal, and stuff like that. So, yeah, so that's where we're at. If you guys have any questions, you're like, hey, Lindsay, what about this? Oh, masks for you guys are also optional. So, um, I just wanted to put that out there for you guys because I don't know if that was clear too. You guys do not have to wear a mask either. So so with that, if you guys have any questions or if you need any clarification on anything, please reach out and let me know. I'd be more than happy to just have a phone conversation with you or email or whatever it is that you guys need in this moment to feel that you are clear on the expectations for starting this upcoming Sunday. Um, the other thing is there's a lot happening this summer, which is great. Again, it feels like almost back to normal. The first thing is our sports camp that's coming up in a week and a half. Yeah, a week and a half, 2 weeks. Is we just need more kids. So just to be reminding families on Sunday, like, hey, are you coming to our sports camp? We'd love to have you guys there. It's only 3 nights, which is great, and it's in the middle of the week, so it feels doable. Like parents should be home working unless they're traveling for vacation and stuff like that to get kids to participate and attend. The team that we have that's putting this on, like they're really excited to have kids and to like interact with them and play sports and have fun. And we are teaching about Jesus in the midst of all this. So let's see if we can make that happen for them. If you want to volunteer and help out, let me know. We could definitely use help with that as well. We have some youth that's going to be helping, and that's great too. So. Um, But yeah, really, we just need to get the kids there. Invite kids if you know in the neighborhood. There's flyers on Sundays you can grab and hand out to neighbors and stuff like that. I just think that would be great. Um, the other thing is you guys, we are last week we started a brand new series called Take the Lead, and we're continuing on this week and the rest of the month. And it's the first couple weeks that focus in on stories from the book of Judges, and then it goes into the book of Ruth. And it's funny, I was just watching through the Bible Project video on the book of Judges because it's like, man, like what are we teaching the kids? What's the backstory to it? If you haven't actually ever like, I mean, having read through the Bible a few times, it's great, but like to really just to sit in and focus in on the book of Judges. It's a very interesting, like the Bible Project versus what we're teaching is a very different viewpoint for our kiddos. So what I love though is that we end the series with the book of Ruth, which is with the story of Ruth, which is beautiful, and the fact that it's a reminder of like God has not forgotten about us, and that He still intends to send a Savior for us, and that there is a way for all of us. So it's actually really beautiful how it ends. And what I love about the series is that we're trying to teach our kids. We want our kids to know, like, listen, like we're all leaders in some way, shape, or form, and that we don't have to be perfect to be leaders. I know I struggle a lot with being like, man, like, struggling to feel like, man, like, am I even qualified and stuff like that, and the Lord is just, He's been so gracious to be like, Lindsay, like, I love you and I've called you to this and I will help you in what you're doing. And I feel like He's told all of you guys the same things. And if you don't feel like He has, like, ask Him, like, Lord, like, what, like, how do you, like, ask Him, like, ask Him for what you need. Like, Lord, I need to hear from you, or I need to know, like, what is this? So I think it's really beautiful that we get to teach kids about like, hey, like they can do this. And what I love also about this is it's not like, hey, kids, when you're an adult, you get to do this. Like, I actually firmly believe kids get to do things now. Kids get to participate in God's kingdom now. They don't have to wait until they're an adult. Like, I always felt like I had to wait till I was an adult before I could pray for people or do any sort of thing of importance within the life of a church. And so what I would just even encourage you guys is to think through like your Sunday morning as you're teaching things, to be like, man, are there moments in our morning where I could ask another kid to lead this? So maybe not the main scripture portion, but maybe like if there's a smaller portion, maybe have them read a few verses, or near the end of the month, if they're doing great with the memory verse, have them lead that. Like, what are things that you can have our kids do to help them lead? If we're doing worship, can we get some kids on stage to help with motions to lead other kids? There's just lots of different ways that we can encourage our kids to lead. Even now, so that they get confident and learn like, man, this is how God's created me, and this is like who I'm supposed to be, and this is how I could serve within the life of our church. I just think that's really beautiful, because that's part of our discipleship of our kids. Is it's not just getting up on stage and telling them like, hey, God says you can lead someday. It's like, no, like, actually God says you can lead now, and let us help you figure out what that looks like for you now. I just think it's beautiful. I don't think we can ever go wrong with that. So those are really it. So just to be aware of like all the things happening are epic. We will not move kids up until the end of like till the middle of August. So I'll send more details out about that later. So if you have parents asking like, hey, my kid's going to be in kindergarten, that's fine. They're still going to go in the preschool classroom. Like, I haven't changed anything in planning center, so they should get stopped there. But if they're asking at the classrooms like, hey, when do we move our kids up? That'll be in August. I'll send out more emails and details about that later, about what that looks like. So I think that's it. So just, the church is having a lot of fun things. Just you guys participate in as much as you can. I think the word for me for this summer at least has been around relationships. So hanging out with people. If any of you with kiddos want to come over and hang out in my pool, please let me know. I would love to have you guys over. Love to swim, hang out. That's such a joy for me is to be able to host people and to see kids swimming in our pool and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'll be there on Sunday, you guys. If you need anything, let me know. If you get this before this weekend, if you guys could just be praying for me. I'm actually getting ready to head off into the mountains with some of our staff for a little staff retreat, which I'm really looking forward to this moment. So if you could just be praying for us, for our staff, and our time together, I just would really appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for everything you do on Sundays. I appreciate and love all of you. Look forward to seeing you guys all on Sunday. Bye.